Our program is called Strong Start, Aboriginal Childhood Diabetes Intervention Program.
What else are you gonna do?
Make pizza.
All right, can everybody who's gonna be in cooking group and help make pizza?
Okay.
We had 20 weeks, and there's the 4 food groups. So we divided that up into 5 classes for each food group. So we did fruits and vegetables first, and then we did grains. And then we did grains, and then we did dairy, and then we did meat. And so we had we did some caribou chili. What else did we do for our grain group? Our grain group, we focused on different types of grains, right? So we also learned that popcorn was a healthy snack.
It is.
Yeah. As long as you don't cover it with salt and butter, right, guys? For our fruits and vegetable group, we made a couple soups. We made vegetarian chili.
Mine's done.
Fruit salad was a big hit. The kids just like to cut up vegetables and mix yogurt, make it as that was their dessert.
Mine done yet?
So we've got Nita, Bonnie, you're ready? Now we talked about 2 types of grains that would be a healthier choice. There's whole grains, and then there's grains that are made with just regular flour, processed. Which ones do you think would be healthier for you?
All grains.
Whole grains, yeah.
Wait, no.
It's that flat bread. But that's going to be the crust. And then we're going to put tomato sauce. What food group does tomato sauce come from?
Ketchup.
Fruits and vegetables.
Fruits and vegetables. And we're going to use some dairy. What do you think on it's going to be dairy?
Milk.
What? No, but what part? Something else in the dairy group is going to be sprinkled on the pizza. Cheese.
You add just a little bit cheese, but I add a lot.
And how do you think we can get some meat in there? What do you think we can put on there?
Pepperoni.
Pepperoni. Is there a healthier choice than pepperoni? We talked about this. What about ham? Because it's all about making choices, exchanging and stuff like that. It's what I want them to learn. I'm never going to get these kids eating fantastic with this program, but what I want them to do is learn how to make a smart choice. Smart choices and cutting back on their sugars. I love how everything is prepackaged.
I'm allergic to mushrooms.
Okay, so today we had whole grain pitas for the base, tomato sauce, pepperoni if they chose, mushrooms, and cheese. And we baked it in the oven.
Out.
Oh wait, sorry. Bonnie, where's your plate?
I don't want to pee in this. Here.
Okay. Lauren? Andrea. Whose was this? This is
Andrea's. Mine.
Christina.
Thank you.
Lauren. So we're basically basing it on the Canada Food Guide. So we talk about how many vegetables you can eat a day, how many grains you should eat a day, and how many and how many meats and alternatives you should eat all day. The one thing that they probably paid attention to the most was how many sweets you're only allowed a day. So they all learned that there's only like 1 or 2 a day, which is probably, for some of these kids, not very much.
What unhealthy stuff does to us? This is our food wall. This is the meat. That's the dairy. That's the fruit and vegetables. Yeah. And that's the grain. We have to eat every kind of food from every group. And eat them once a day. Except the candy group.
Century, what's
What
your
about the
favorite?
candy group? What about it?
Has too much sugar.
Okay, sweet.
How many times can you guys eat from the candy group?
One time every month. Once a day. My favorite food group is fruit and vegetables. Fruit is good for you.
Want some?
Oh. You want some?
People are eating out more, they're eating more convenience foods, more reheated foods like microwaved stuff, and I think what we would like is for people to really learn to appreciate the joys of home-cooked food and nutrition. We don't need calories. The problem with our society today is that we are actually overfed and undernourished. So we don't need the calories, we need the nutrients that are in the fruits and vegetables. So we're starting off in the fruits and vegetables category. And the main nutrients that we're going to find in fruits and vegetables are vitamins A, vitamin C, fiber, and folic acid. We're not eating enough of this. If there's one thing that correlates good health with eating, that is getting enough fruits and vegetables. And one rule of thumb about choosing fruits and vegetables is the more color it has, the better it probably is for you. Cooking can affect some of the nutrients in fruits and vegetables, and a few guidelines are to, like you said, not cook it too long, to use as little cooking water as possible, to use bigger chunks so that there's less surface area, because the more surface area that's exposed, the more nutrient loss there is. So milk products are a really important source of calcium in the diet, and they're also an important source of vitamin D. The only really foods that contain vitamin D are fluid milk, fish, and margarine. Fish is good for people who like fish, and up north here, actually it's a main source of vitamin D in our diets, but fluid milk really is the only other choice. So if you're not big on fish at least 2 or 3 times a week, or milk 2 or 3 servings a day, you probably need a vitamin D supplement. So of course the main thing that you're looking for with dairy products is the fat content, because while milk is chocked full of lots of wonderful nutrients, the one thing that it can have, of course, is fat, and so you have to make sure that you're choosing the lower fat choices. So what we're always looking for is the percent MF, and most of us are familiar with that with milk, but it also applies to yogurt and cheese, where we're always looking at the percent MF and you try to choose the ones with the lower percentage. Animal fats generally, as a rule of thumb, are considered bad. So fats that come from animals are bad. Fats that come from vegetable sources are generally considered good, like the oils and that kind of stuff. It isn't good to have too much added sugar in our diets, of course, because foods that tend to be high in sugar are lower in a lot of nutrients. But really, when it comes to yogurt, I'm like, go ahead, have a yogurt that has some extra sugar added, and if you're getting your calcium in and all the other great nutrients that are in the yogurt, all the best to you. And same thing with chocolate milk and kids. I'm a big fan of, if parents are having a hard time getting their kids to drink chocolate milk or to drink milk, go ahead and give them chocolate milk. I wouldn't want to really set that as the standard for milk, like that is what milk is, to take it to that degree, but certainly as a treat once in a while and everything, chocolate milk is a great treat for kids. The first thing that you want to look at is the portion size. And you want to make sure that you compare the similar portions, because one yogurt might be 3/4 of a cup for a serving size and give the information for that. Another one might be 1/2 a cup. So you want to make sure that you're comparing apples to apples that way. One thing that we do want to look at is the fat content. And it doesn't list every possible kind of fat, but it does list saturated and trans fats, because those are harmful fats. Those will can help promote heart disease and that kind of thing, and we want to keep those ones low. So what you can do is add up saturated plus trans fat, those two for the bad fat, and then out of the total amount of fat, just take that percentage. So 1 out of 1.5 grams of fat are bad types of fat, and you can assume that the rest is good fat. The cholesterol content is important for people who are trying to watch their cholesterol levels to some degree. Sodium is salt, of course, and so of course the lower the better for that. Carbohydrate is fairly neutral, but one thing that I want to say about carbohydrate is that fiber plus sugar plus starch equals total carbs. Cheese is certainly a healthy food and can contribute to a good calcium intake and all that sort of thing. With cheese, the main thing is the fat content and making sure that you're choosing lower fat cheeses and that are lower. And once again, you're looking at the percent MF on the thing. And generally, a cheese that has less than 20% MF is a better choice. I want to just talk a little bit about eggs, and eggs actually are considered really good. And truthfully, as far as a meat alternative, these belong in the meat food group. They're excellent. For 2 eggs, you've got a great source of iron, you've got vitamin E, you've got vitamin B12. Just off the top of my head, they're chock full of nutrition, and you're only paying about 20 cents an egg. So for 40 cents, you get your protein serving for the evening. So the only thing I would say about eggs is that if you have high cholesterol, it's generally good to limit yourself to about 4 eggs a week. Certainly, butter was given a bad rap a while back because of the fact that it's made from animal sources. Again, like I said, animal sources are generally bad. So butter and lard are considered bad, and they're saturated fat, which will raise your blood cholesterol levels. And so what you're really looking for as far as the best choice for your health is a non-hydrogenated margarine. Because first of all, it's made from a vegetable oil, which is good, but it does not have the saturated trans fats that butter and the regular hard margarines do. Okay, as far as meat goes, Canada's Food Guide recommends that we get about 2 to 3 servings of meat products a day. And I think the one thing to remember in thinking of that is that what is a serving with meat products? Because a serving is actually about the size of the palm of your hand. And that can include also, like I talked about eggs earlier, beans and lentils, peanut butter. You know, those are some other meat alternatives. So it doesn't have to just be meat. And the main nutrients that we get from this food group are protein, iron, and certainly iron is present in good amounts in red meat. So beef is higher in iron than chicken or fish. And caribou, certainly traditional meats, are really excellent sources. Caribou is really high in iron. It's has more iron than beef. And also the type of fat is better. Remember, we've been talking about types of fat, and the caribou fat is actually better because of the caribou's diet than the beef diet, which is a grain-fed animal. Vegetarians can get their iron from the beans and lentils. They can get iron from some of the fruits and vegetables like spinach and that sort of stuff. And actually breakfast cereals are a really big source of iron. Processed breakfast cereals, it's the one thing where packaged is actually good because a lot of the breakfast cereals have lots of nutrients added back in, and one bowl of cereal gives you about 40% of the iron that you need in a day. Dare I talk about spam and click? It's very high in fat, and it's very high in salt, and I don't even think it counts as a meat serving in the meat category, so we'll just leave it at that. The new Canada Food Guide is recommending that at least half of our grain choices be whole grain choices. And so I just want to sort of point out the whole wheat pastas that are here. Of course, fiber promotes good bowel habits. People up north here are getting less than half the fiber that they need. So certainly choosing whole wheat pasta is one way of getting that fiber in. So rice, the same thing goes for rice as goes for other bread products and whole wheat. Certainly brown is better than white. What happens in the processing of rice or wheat is that when you take out the outer layer, the hull, you take out some of the nutrients, and then when it's further processed to take off the germ and the brown layer, more nutrients are removed, so that when you're left with the white bread product, whether it's wheat or whether it's rice, most of the nutrients have actually been taken out. Yeah, let's talk about juice real quick. One thing I just want to say about juice is that obviously to choose the ones that have no sugar added would be the best choice. But one thing that a lot of people don't know is that juice actually has the same amount of sugar in it. Even unsweetened juice has the same amount of sugar in it as pop. And with the difficulty in getting enough calcium in our diets, orange juice with added calcium is actually one good way, if you're not a milk drinker, to get your calcium needs met. The two things that you're looking for when you're buying a cereal is the sugar content and the fiber content. Total carbohydrate is made up of three things. It's made up of fiber, it's made up of sugar, and it's made up of starch. And I'd like you to just sort of see, if you look at your label and add up the fiber and the sugar and the starch, and it should come fairly close to the total carbohydrate, because those three things are always add up to total carbohydrates, is sugar and starch and fiber. Now fiber is the undigested part of food that comes out the other end. Sugar and starch are both broken down into the same thing, glucose, in your body. But generally the reason we're concerned about sugar here is because we want to try and limit the added sugar in our diets. And so what you want to do is always choose a cereal that has more starch than sugar and that is high in fiber.
We were sitting in class and there was like
It was a
6 of us
nutrition
girls.
class,
Yeah, a nutritional foods class, whatever like that. Wasn't nothing like cooking or anything, and just learning about like how we eat.
Yeah, there was like six
of us girls in our class, and they were asking us if we had any ideas of what to do, and then no one wanted to do anything pretty much, but me and Autumn thought of doing a video, and then we didn't even know where that was gonna take us, and then we're like, let's go to Northern and like look at the prices and the foods and stuff.
And we'll be walking inside to ask people some questions. I think we'll keep it on camera.
Hello.
How often does your fruit and vegetables come in?
Our fruit and vegetables and produce come in once a week, usually the beginning of the week, depending on the air freight, depending on if the weather is good or bad or what's happening with the plane that day. But usually the first part of the week.
Documenting our food and vegetable area in the Northern. I wonder what's the expiry date though? Is there anything? Look at how much that costs.
But yeah,
there's not much fresh food.
It takes a while for the food to come down here and to be shipped here, and which makes it cost more for the price. And by the time the food gets here, it's like a couple days before expiry date.
Ooh, look, it's not even fresh. See how bad it is around here? Can you see it? Ooh. Sorry to say, Northern.
Prices are
The prices
expiry
were
dates.
expiry dates and prices were out of it. Like the prices were so high, and it's compared to the cities and everything, the prices were high, and the freight and everything.
Delicious apples. Prices are very high. Only because of the freight, huh? Oh, let's go to our bread section. Look at our bread.
How's the price?
How much is the price? $4.65 for a loaf of bread. And $6.09. How come it's so different, I guess?
Because they're brands. These are no names.
I know. Oh
It's
yeah,
like
look
sugar.
at that. Oh, they have a different
Expiry date.
I am.
June 2nd. That's June 2nd.
June 2nd.
Where are you?
And today it's June 5th. Here is our dairy products. Here's the yogurt. It costs $1.99. And here's the milk. And it's $19.89.
And then after that, we started recording 2 elders and what they ate, and they mostly ate traditional foods.
Interviewing random people about what they eat in their daily meals.
What I ate this morning? I had eggs and toast.
What you eat?
For lunch, I will usually have some sort of salad. At this time of year, the cheapest salad is coleslaw. So I eat lots of coleslaw.
Having bacon and eggs.
Me?
Yeah.
I ate what those kids ate.
Cereal?
Yeah.
It was spaghetti soup.
At home I eat traditional foods too. Yes.
Ducks, fish.
Yes. Mock duck, fish, caribou.
Moose meat.
Duck.
So you drink pop?
No way.
She's a dentist.
This town helped us. They helped us out a lot in the video. They gave us information. So it was like a working team.
Oh, we're gonna go and ask people. Let's go see what they're eating. Loretta!
They showed it to the Arctic Health Research Network. They showed it to them, and they sent it out to the Indigenous Conference in New Zealand, which was worldwide, and then we got picked. We got selected to do it. And then we presented in New Zealand to like a lot of Aboriginal peoples from Hawaii to New Zealand,
all over the world.
Australia, the US, and Canada. We're the youngest ones. We went there expecting there to be like few young people, and there was like they were like
Asked you for a university
and
or
we're
college.
like, no, we're still in high school. To go out of the country, it was our first time. But it was good too because we had each other and we're friends. And we learned to work together, and like being far away from home and everything. It made us stronger, I guess, to travel places and get to know how things are in the world. More youth should get involved in stuff like this.
Yeah.
I'm just about to drink my pop.
Did you know that a penny can dissolve in pop? You might as well be drinking this
Why would I do that?
because that's the same amount of sugar that's in a pop.
Ew, I quit.
Monday I bought some Kraft dinner. On a Tuesday I ate some hot dogs. On a Wednesday there was no breakfast. On a Thursday I drank too much pop. I got a bellyache, it hurts me real bad. I got a bellyache, well that's just too bad. I got a bellyache, it hurts me real bad. And them nachos are about to drag me down.
Cut.